Okay, I'm Charles. I'm founder and CEO of Transaction Focus. I'm conscious of time. We are a leading sales and marketing outsourcing company throughout Europe. We call ourselves the Transaction Marketing Company because we believe that sales and marketing are totally integrated, intertwined. And we have partners in the USA called Sales Focus who has similar view. I just wanted to, as a resume of what we're going to talk about, I'm going to move a bit quicker because we do not have much time. But the most important thing is about, I believe that brand and the importance of brand. I have been very lucky to work within advertising agencies and with sales and marketing companies in Asia, Eastern Europe, France and the UK, and I've had the pleasure to work in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with a lot of Chinese in my team, and I had a Chinese boss as well, which is great fun. And I worked in South Korea and Seoul for a WPP advertising agency as well, and also in Vietnam. And my Vietnamese is not very good, but it's better than my Chinese. So brand and passion is very, very important, and to be distinctive, having your USP and making sure you underline your USP as a company is extremely important. And the other points I want to really focus on are when you have a prospect, you nurture them. And I know this, you may think, well actually, in China we know how to look after people, and it's obvious your hospitality is excellent, but at the same time nurturing a client and their expectations is very, very difficult and demanding. And it's not just nurturing when they're a new client, it's actually nurturing them through the whole process so that they're so as Morris Saatchi of Saatchi & Saatchi used to say, they're permanently infatuated client that that they will refer you and recommend you to everybody you need to work with. It's what Chris was saying about if you have a very good client in the petroleum industry, you can work along the verticals and the horizontals in that industry. And also where we, I think, are quite different as a company, we do a lot of test selling. If you look up test selling in Google, we come up quite high. And test marketing, because we believe you should sometimes test market before you even write your business plan. And you might look at me and think that's a bit weird, but that's what we believe. And lastly, I should have included that we need to have, for China, we need to have optimism, which I think you naturally have, and confidence, but we need to celebrate successes. Even small successes, because good sports teams, very successful sports teams, always celebrate the big or the little successes. So this is a bit about us. You can just read it very briefly. I'll move on because we haven't got much time. I'm not here to talk about Transaction Focus. And this is what we do, and most importantly, for Chinese companies, we are able to find your market entry strategy, your go-to-market strategy for Europe, and define which markets, which countries you should focus on first, which channels you should focus on as priority channels to have good return on investment, and that's what we do. And so we give you the whole sales and marketing package. So you do not need to employ your own salespeople. You can do, and we can work with them, but we source, recruit, manage, motivate, train, and measure the performance of your salespeople. So I think John Pickup earlier covered this quite thoroughly, and how, particularly in the UK and other European countries, we view the Westerners' view, and also the USA, of course. How do we view the China market? We obviously know the stable growth. Perhaps we feel because we're having a very tough time, which is due to our own fault, a lot of our banks, and a lot of misgovernment. Perhaps we always think that you're having very big growth, but maybe it's harder than we think. But we believe in the Confucian principle of longevity, and myself and my company, and I think the IIOM, believe very much in the Confucian values of sharing, community spirit, is that better? I can walk around now, that's great. I feel free. We believe in the community values, the spirit. We even have a new Prime Minister called David Cameron. You may have not heard of him. But he talks about the big society. And I think the big society means it's about having a big community where we all work together. Because after all, we're a global village. And I think you've really demonstrated with the Beijing Olympics, and as Wanda was saying, it's a shame that the Shanghai World Expo has very little press, because I'm sure you're showing us your true spirit, and also your hospitality, and your advanced thinking. And your customer service is much better than the Western customer service. I always say that to everybody in the West. I'm a great exponent of Far Eastern customer service. But where I think you need to really concentrate on is reputation. Well, let's face it, the whole outsourcing industry is very new. It's a very immature industry. And there's also, as John Pickup was saying, in the UK media, there's a lot of misunderstanding of the intentions of China. I've got 3 minutes, I better move on. Gosh, I went quickly. And then but you need to very much talk, and I think Chris spoke quite a lot about targeting, but the three white circles in the centre are the obvious targets, but sometimes in the European markets, it's quite good to focus on people who are going in and changing the organisation, or management consultants. Make sure you get them on your side, because they can derail your sales efforts. And I think Chris talked about this. And always we go in, and if you can go in when you're selling to organisation, give them a questionnaire. Make sure your prospect has a questionnaire, make them tick the boxes, what they think they need, and probe them and prompt them, and make sure they fill it out. And you'll find that different people in the same organisation will tell you different things. And then you need to summarise that and then put forward the benefits. But the benefits, I run an outsourced business as well, and the financial and the service benefits are overriding. And selling is a lot about passion and belief, and it's a lot about love and involving yourself with your partner. In fact, possibly outsourcing with your partner should be almost a stronger